Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown. I am back again, and I really don't know what happened to the original live recording tonight, but after I did something on my phone to remove a notification, the whole recording is shaky, and I know that that is just so annoying. So that notification just came up again, so I'm not going to touch it. So I want to do another recording of those projects that I can leave up here, that if someone was not able to watch live the first time, hopefully this will be a cleaner recording. I'm just going to go through and create the cards, and so that you can watch it without it being shaky. So anyway, I'm hoping I am on the right page. Let me double check here. I see. Hi, Pat. My internet is really slow. Yeah, it's here. So if you watch the first one, this is just a repeat, and you do not have to stay through this whole repeat process, but I'm going to make these cards again. My husband was kind enough to cut all my paper again so I could do the projects again. So I wanted to have this up so I could just leave a clean recording. Okay, so first I'm going to make a little 3x3 card using this Twinkle Twinkle bundle from the new Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. So, and if you can tell me, Kristen and Pat, I know you're there, is the recording okay? Are you hearing me okay? And is the video okay? Just let me know. All right, so I'm folding that in half. Okay, and let's see. Of course, I've got a piece of the Twinkle Twinkle Designer. I can't talk tonight. Okay, thanks, Kristen. Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper, and I'm going to take this heart constellation stamp and stamp it in Versamark ink, and I'm going to silver emboss it. In the previous video, I talked about how this set is geared toward baby and children, but it can be used for lots of different things. And this particular card is a congratulatory card that I made for someone on my Stampin' Up! Team. And I thought it would be really cute because my name of my team is Ink and Inspiration Stars. Okay, so that's in Versamark. Silver embossing powder. I'm going to sprinkle it over. Tap off the excess. And let's get this out of the way. And then we'll get our heat tool and reheat. If you are seeing me again, I'm re-recording the projects because the recording of the first video is awful. It is so shaky. Okay, I'm going to heat set this, and you're going to see the silver melt, the silver embossing powder melt, and just really show up really pretty on this Night of Navy designer paper. Okay, so now I'm going to turn that off and set that aside and let it dry just a bit. And I have a piece of Petal Pink cardstock cut at 3/4 by 1 1/2. And I am going to take the sentiment that says "It was written in the stars" and stamp in Petal Pink matching ink. I know some of you are probably, if you were tuned in earlier, you're thinking, what is she doing the same projects again for? It's like, if you go back and look at that recording, you'll know why. It looks like I'm horribly shaky. The audio is okay, but I don't know what happened. I'm hoping this one turns out okay. All right, so I've got that ready to go. And now this should be good and dry. And I am going to take some of this beautiful twine that is also in this suite of products. And I'm just going to tie a bow. So if you're joining me for the first time, thank you for watching. And I appreciate you being here. If you want to say hello and where you're from, I'd appreciate it. And if you have questions or comments, I'll go back after the video and respond. Okay, so I've got a bow tied there, and I'm just going to snip off the excess, and then we can put our sentiment on. This particular card is from the annual catalog where this suite is featured. And I just going to do the inside a little, added my own touch to the inside, and we'll do that in just a minute. I'm using some Stampin' Dimensionals. South Carolina, Kristen, that's far cry from Texas, huh? I know you're glad to be there. That's great. Looking at my computer and I see everything's cattywampus there. Oh man, when I looked back and I saw that shaky recording, I thought, are you kidding me? Who's going to watch that? So that's why I'm redoing it. And of course I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I am, but wanted to give you a clean recording of this card so you wouldn't have to watch that shaky business. Okay, so now I'm just going to use some snail adhesive and put it over back. Hi, Patina from Tennessee. All right, let's see. I hope I pronounced that right. I don't always get names correct. Okay. So there we go. We've got that. And now I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White cardstock that's cut at 2 7/8 inch square and do something fun with it. I'm going to take this Twinkle Builder Punch. Hey Carol, hi again. That recording was horrible, so I'm redoing it just real quick, trying to do it quick. Okay, so I'm going to punch here, upper left corner, and take the sentiment that says congratulations. If this is your first time watching me tonight, I always ask if you will share my video, and then I do a random drawing the following week for a winner for a fun prize. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the inside with some snail. And if you watched the first video and shared it, I will, that will count too. I'll look at both videos for all the shares. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and to make this fun, this is just a shimmery pen, glitter pen, and I'm coloring inside the open negative spaces from where I did the punch, and going to make it real pretty and sparkly. Okay. All right, so there is the first little 3x3 card. Okay. All right, let me clear a space and I'll get started on the second card. Oh, I forgot something. I knew I would. I'm going to put some of these really cute Twinkle sequins, adhesive back sequins. They're two sizes, tiny and tinier, and in silver, and then this iridescent look. They're really pretty. You can see I've already used a ton of them here. Well, maybe not a ton, but you know what I mean. Okay. I'm going to put that one there. It'll show in between the bow loop, I hope. Let me get this out of the way. And this one down here. There, that finishes it off. There we go. I was getting in a hurry. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead with another card. When I talked earlier, I talked about, you know, what other uses could be for this card, and I think this next card shows that it can be used for a girl baby. If you did it in the pool party, it could be used for a boy baby. But I also thought it could be used for little youngsters in recitals, you know, for a card, for good luck card for recital. So let's go ahead and get started with it. First thing I'm going to do is take this star that says "A Star is Born," and I'm going to stamp it in Versamark ink and emboss it in silver embossing powder with silver embossing powder. And we have to let it dry a bit before I punch it out with a circle punch, okay? So I'm doing that first and let it set. Okay. Heat tool. Let it heat up a bit and then go ahead and melt it. Okay. All right, let's set that aside and let it dry. And I'll go ahead and get the other parts of the card. Here is our petal pink base, cut at 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to just give it a good crease on this score line. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little stamp that's like a little scattering of stars and use petal pink ink and make a border that is like a going to look like it's a background, kind of like a make your own designer series paper. So I'm just going to go around and try to vary where it's not just all even around the edges. I've got a piece of scrap paper beneath it to protect the work surface because I am stamping off of the cardstock in some areas. There will be another piece of cardstock in the center here with the main image / sentiment, and so it will look as if the entire back of the card is covered with these stars, hopefully. Okay, all right, let's set that aside now. And we are going to get a piece of shimmery white cardstock, and it is cut at 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And it does hold water very well, so we're going to do a watercolor wash. And I'm going to use a clear block that I had earlier, and now it's escaped me, so I'll just get another, oh, here it is. Here's one I can use. And I'm just going to take the ink pad and tap it on there and get some ink that I can use as a palette. And I'm going to get my aqua painter. It holds water in this well, and you just refill it, you know, and then if you've used it on one color, you would squeeze it out and let the water run through until it's clear. But this is the same petal pink that I used earlier, so I can just use it again. Okay, so I'm just doing a wash, and you can squeeze and let the water come out. It doesn't need to be even in color, okay? And we're going to let that dry and probably hit it with the heat tool on the low heat setting and let that set. So let's go ahead and grab that, put it on one. and let it give it a good once over to get it to dry. Then we're going to be doing some punching on this piece here with that Twinkle Builder punch. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that. There's a little puddle of water there I'm trying to get to dry. Okay, then do the back too. It kind of evens it out, flattens it out a bit. All right, so now I'm going to take the Twinkle Builder punch and slide it in. I want the moon and the stars punched out here. Okay, so now I'm going to slide in on this side. I only want the one moon, so I'm going to be careful how I slide in this punch over here, and I think I can get 3, well, I think I'm just going to do the 2 stars. I don't want any of the white, shimmery white cardstock to show here. I don't want to punch that moon, so there we go. And then we're going to come here on the bottom again. And let's see if I can get 3 stars in there without getting any of the moon. Barely. I'm going to go for it. Yep, it worked. Okay, so now I have a piece of silver foil paper, and this is cut at 3 1/8 by 4 3/8, and I'm going to put that on the back so that it shows through, and it's going to be so pretty and shiny. Love it. Okay, so now let's take this piece of silver foil and put it over top. It's cut about an 1/8 inch smaller on all sides, and you want to be sure if you've got little stars on the very edge, even if it's not straight in the back, you want to be sure you've got those covered so that the silver shows through. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now let's move this scrap paper out of the way. Here's our star that we embossed earlier, and I'm going to take the 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and that fits in just perfectly, fits all 5 points, and I'm going to punch that out. And then I'm taking the twine again and going to make some loops and not tie it so that you don't have a knot behind it. We're going to cut this off here, and then I'm going to take the circle, and I want the twine behind it like that. So I'm going to put the adhesive in this area of the circle back, flip it over, and then let's go ahead and place that center there on that adhesive. See how it catches? All right, and then your little loops show beyond the circle, and you didn't have to tie a knot. Okay, I think I'm going to once again use Stampin' Dimensionals. On the back of that, and then pull off the paper backing, and then I'm just going to put it at an angle here in this open space. Don't want to cover up those silver stars. Okay, all right, so let's get our card base, and that's going to go right there in the center, and you can see how that border turns into like a complete, almost complete background. And then just apply it here. And there's another card that you can use for really several different types of occasions. Let me trim that off a little bit, and I'll show you how I finished off the inside. I cut a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper White, and then use those scattered stars in those 2 corners there. Okay, and now I'll go ahead and show some other projects that I showed in that first video. And here's one card. I got this idea from the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog as well, where this is white embossed, and the punch is used there. The card base is actually a Memories and More card and envelope. It's from that pack, okay, and I'll be doing a video on this on my blog soon. And here's another project using some of the designer paper, and I made a little pillow box that I'm going to show you how to make soon. Use the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star sentiment, some of the designer paper, and you can see some more of the sequins there. This will hold like a gift card, okay, or some treats for a recital gift. Okay, thank you so much for watching and bearing with me as I repeat these projects tonight. That first one, like I said, is very shaky. The recording is very shaky. I thank you all for being here and for watching the recording. Take care, and I will see you probably next Friday afternoon for Facebook Live. Have a great evening. Good night.